This is Bridge Constructor: The Walking Dead. I believe that it was free on Epic recently, and that's why I picked it up. I have played some Bridge Constructor games before, though I don't remember if I ever did them on the stream. If I did, I'll put a little card up there so you can find it. But yeah, so I mean, this type of game is one that I kind of enjoy. It's like basically trying to construct things that can withstand a lot of use. You know, they've got it's basically a physics simulator where you build a bridge and try to see if you can get certain loads across it. It sounds like in this version, you're probably going to be trying to get across bridges to escape zombies. So like maybe we'll be trying to make bridges that can support my car, but can't support a zombie horde. I don't know. That's the kind of thing I'm imagining. Let's get into the game and find out. Deadland. So what are all the other places going to be called?
The world came to an end, and we didn't even realize it. People got sick and died. Then started coming back. Pundits on cable news said it was all a hoax. A month later, they were dead too. Some refused to accept what was happening, insisted it was just fear-mongering. Then the first cities fell. Then the rest fell apart, fast. The earth grew quiet. Humanity was now an endangered species. Those few of us who survived were terrified and lost, scavenging the remains of a world that had all but disappeared overnight.
Okay, I don't know how much dialogue there's going to be in the game. I've been trying to keep the volume low so that... yeah, so it's not too hard to hear what's going on with my conversation. Yeah, so Raneth Court is like, that's a little too real of an intro, right? Like, I kind of expected this to be a little bit of a funnier take on zombies, because, I mean, you're going to have, like, bumbling zombies falling off bridges, right, at some point. And so, yeah, I kind of expected it to be a little bit lighter. But they really sort of lean into, you know, the horrors of this. And one thing, so I've been listening a lot, by the way, to the Fall of Civilizations podcast, which is one of the best podcasts I've ever listened to. It's a history podcast that specifically focuses on societies that fell, like how they rose, how they worked, what went wrong, and how they collapsed, and then what it was like for the people to live through the collapse. And there's all different kinds of collapses, from ones that are related to like ecology, to conquest, to you know, like civil war and conflict within. It's just really fascinating. And so it's interesting, like I usually think of the zombie apocalypse as being a fantastical scenario, but there have been so many times in history when people have lived through things that were not literally the zombie apocalypse, but were fairly similar, you know, like massive complex societies collapsing and people sort of barely eking out a living in the ashes. And so this is a very real thing. So yeah, so Raneth Court is a little too real for me too, partly just because I have been exposing myself to the actual real stories that these kinds of things are based on. Yeah, Jedi Psychics just subscribed to the podcast, and so they deserve all... I'm planning actually on going and trying to support them on Patreon, partly just because I love them and I want them to keep doing what they're doing, and also because, like, the podcast obviously is an audio medium, but they also provide a lot of visuals through their Patreon. So they're doing a really nice little teaser. Like, they talk about how magnificent this culture was, and they're like, if you want to see pictures of the thing I'm talking about, go to our Patreon. Like, it's one of the best Patreon pitches I've ever heard. So anyway, we're here to play a game. Let's play a game. It was just another day in the end times. No TV, no internet, no warm water, no clean sheets, and no food. Let's not bother with that street again. Nothing left to scavenge, just dead meat walking. We might still be able to find some meds in Doc Boyle's old office. And exactly what kind of medication are you hoping to get from a proctologist's office, old man? Pardon me for interrupting this prostate banter, but I currently find myself in a perilous situation and am in need of some assistance. Wait, I don't know these two characters. I know this Eugene guy, though. He's from The Walking Dead. Whoa, hold it, fella. What the heck are you thinking, sneaking up on us like this? Eugene's the name, but before we commence a lengthy tete-a-tete, I have to cut to the chase. The living dead are on my heels, and I strongly urge you to ready your firearms. I'm afraid we're fresh out of guns. Ain't no shame in hiding, though. Get in that ditch. I'll build us a shelter. And keep quiet, mullet head. You've caused us enough trouble as it is. Roger that. I shall provide a helping hand, all the while keeping quiet as a church mouse on Sunday. Okay, so we just got to make a bridge for the zombies to not fall on us. So let's remove stuff. Okay, so right-click to get rid of the stuff that's already there. Now let's start building. Oh, so am I going to get some of my materials by scavenging? That would kind of make sense. Okay, so I click on this. So that might work. Click on what you've built to convert it from a scaffold to a roadway. Oh, they've really kind of simplified the controls, I think, from past iterations of this kind of game that I've played. They just have, like... I'm not even, like, choosing tools or anything. There's just simple clicks that will do, in context, the stuff they're supposed to do. Alright, so, okay, so we're trying to get zombies across the bridge. It's weird. We had this really loud, aggressive music earlier, and now I'm hearing nothing. Oh, okay, cool. I actually just I accidentally turned down my volume so far that I couldn't hear any of the music. So, again, let me know if the music gets too loud. Alright, so anyway, those things are dumb as they are dead. I'm Kyra, by the way. I'm Miles, and you, son, would be a pretty practical companion without that runaway mouth of yours. My appreciation for the laudatio. My capabilities are more inclined toward the theoretical, but from time to time they do prove useful. Mission completed. Next. Our little family had grown. There was a lot more talk now, but we also had another mouth to feed, and the local diner wasn't about to open anytime soon. How you folks feeling about dinner? All we got is some sugar and the mold that's growing on it. Maybe we can find something to eat in this warehouse. Wait, does mold grow on sugar? Not to denigrate your otherwise reasonable suggested course of action, but have you factored in the danger posed by that pack of undead approaching from the loading area? Damn it, this place is swarming with walkers. The physical attributes of that cylindrical object in the upper level might be suitable for eradicating enemy lines. You want to crush the walkers with a cable spool? Crush, eradicate, whatever. Let's get a move on. I'm starving. Alright, so... the roadway elements are already there, but not in the correct position. Instead of erasing, we can simply adjust them. So, hold it on a blue hinge point, and then drag the hinge to a new position. I'm trying to. Oh, why did it work that time and not other times? Okay. Okay, so if I click and drag real fast, it doesn't work. I have to click and hold, and then drag. That's weird. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so I don't have any supports down on the bottom that I can brace it against. And so now we need to have a self-supporting construction that basically makes this thing unlikely to crack. Because... yeah. Because it's got this intrinsically uncrackable structure. Okay. How do we... what do we do now? So I assume these people need to get over here while this thing falls. Oh, is this the button I push? Oh, that's the button I push. So we run. That thing falls. And it kills all the zombies. Okay. And so down there in the bottom right, those were our goals, what we needed to accomplish with the bridge. Now that we're loaded up with all this prepackaged, preserved, snacky goodness, I gotta say, that was awesome. But it was also really loud. So Mr. X Jonathan asks, is this game worth it? I don't know. This is only the second tutorial mission that I played, so I don't know how good it gets over time. Oh, but that's right. I believe it's free right now on the Epic Games Store. So if you're curious about it, go get it on Epic right now. I don't know if it will still be free when people watch this video later on YouTube. In fact, maybe I should try to release it as soon as I can, just so that it's likely to still be free. Because, yeah, if I release it like 2 weeks from now, which is entirely possible, that's not going to be as useful to folks. So our supplies are taken care of, but the dead were closing in. We can only hope our new friend could come up with another crafty solution. Those fellas look 100% dead and none too friendly. How the hell do we get past them? I propose a scheme that iterates upon a proven strategy with superior technology. I would once again draw your attention to the upper levels, where rests a formidable container. So someone needs to run in, release the container, and crush those walkers? I don't envy whoever draws short straw on that one. Why are you guys looking at me like that? Have no fear. We shall devise a comprehensive plan that guarantees a neutralization of all tangos and a 100% survival rate for all friendlies. You have my word. What are you waiting for, Miles? Look at that face. He gave his word. Okay, so Miles has to make it to point A. This is a tactical level. It contains waypoints you can give your heroes commands for what to do or where to go next when they get there. Oh, this is getting complicated fast. So in this case, you want to instruct Miles to go to the control panel and release a suspended container onto the walkers. Afterwards, he needs to go down that ladder and then move to the right towards Area A. These instructions can be given in commands mode. Let's open it now. Okay, so Miles will encounter 2 waypoints. The first is selected now. Note that for each waypoint, you can determine up to 5 actions will be executed sequentially when the hero gets there. Okay, the first action slot is already selected. The palette will appear with all available actions for the slot directly above it. The cogwheel is only available at waypoints that are next to a control panel. So let's select the cogwheel. And for this one, go down. And then for this one, we'll tell him to go to the right. Okay. Now switch back into build mode. And let's build some stuff. So it looks like, again, we're going to need to build sort of a self-supporting bridge. Okay, so clicking and re-clicking is how you place stuff. Clicking and holding for a second is how you move stuff. So that's why they don't let me drag immediately, because they're still resolving whether or not I clicked. I still feel like there might be a slightly more responsive way to do that. But I think that's all I need to do. Just build a simple bridge. He crosses it, and then we're just learning about how to give him commands. So the zombies are going to start chasing him when they get down to the ground, I think. But hopefully he will have already crushed them by then. So let's see how this goes. So he crushes the zombies, and now when he gets down to the ground, there's nothing to chase him. Alright, cool. That looked fun. The kinetic energy was successfully deployed, and I might add, quite expediently at that. It must be kind of fun to write Eugene dialogue, because he's just so over-elaborate with it. So Mr. X Jonathan says, by the way, I didn't use Epic Games much, but the library contains all the games that you have. I'm just confused because I remember most of them except Watch Dogs 2, which I have no clue how it got there. So I don't know what you've done with your library, but you do have to manually accept each deal. Like each time Epic Games releases a game for free, you have to go and accept it manually or you miss your shot. And so it's basically... It's partly a way for them to sort of build up a library for you so you're invested in the store. It also is a way to sort of get you to keep coming back to the store and noticing other things, noticing things that are on sale, stuff like that. So it's kind of it is a scheme to get your attention. But since I've been doing it, like every week I've been trying to go to the Epic Store and get the free games, and I've got a pretty big library from there now. So, I feel benefited by that scheme. Things were getting hairy, and our death from above plan was hardly risk-free. Miles was not pleased. Good things come in threes. What do you say we try this plan again and maybe give it a little more kick? Miles, steal him over here and we'll crush him. I've had it with this plan. I'm too damn old to keep playing cheese in your mousetrap. Relax, I'll suck it up and be bait this time. Get ready for some shock and awe, y'all. Okay, so we need to get the zombies into the pit and the humans across the pit. So, in missions where there's more than one hero involved, you can switch between heroes. Each one has their own set of commands for each waypoint. For example, Kira's color is always yellow. Make sure the correct waypoint and hero is selected when assigning your commands. For additional guides to survive the Bridge Constructor of the Walking Dead universe, check out the Constructor's Guide to the Apocalypse in the level menu. Okay. So so when I'm in command, so he's got stuff he'll do at these waypoints. And she's got stuff that she'll do at the waypoints. Okay, so when she gets to this waypoint, I want her to go up. And when she gets this one, we want her to go to the right. So she'll be running this way. And then we want him, when he gets to this waypoint, we want him to release the cable spool and then run to the left to get to his destination. And hopefully that will take enough time that she'll be able to get across the bridge. So speaking of a bridge, like, I don't think there's a reason to do anything but, like, the simplest bridge right here. Right? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so I can't really... I usually have to make these, like, nice and symmetrical. That looks like it's not really going to be super possible here. So I don't know if that's going to be useful enough. I wonder... So one thing it doesn't seem to be doing is limiting my materials. Okay, so yeah, so he doesn't need to cross to the right. Oh, but if this thing just falls straight down, then it's going to miss the bridge, and the zombies are going to not be crushed. And we need to crush all the zombies. So I need to make a ramp that will dump the cable spool onto the bridge at the right occasion. Okay, so we'll do it like that. I think this will work. I don't know. Let's find out. So she runs across, gets across just in time to dump all the zombies in the pit. Nice. Okay, cool. It worked. You've got a lot of nerve sending me over that rickety-ass bridge. I sincerely beg your pardon, but let me assure you your physical well-being was at no point, under any circumstances during this operation, in jeopardy. Even the most pessimistic of projections had your probability of survival in the high 80s. Hear that, Kyra? High 80s. How can you stay mad after he gave us his word? Anyway, let's see. At least we can move on from this particular death trap now. There must be an exit somewhere around here. Mission completed. Oh, but I used too many resources to get a badge. I got to keep it under 2,000. Okay, so I didn't see that here. Okay, so how can I reduce the amount of resources that I used? I can probably... Yeah, so each time I shorten one of these things, it uses less resources. And I might not need those at all. So I'm betting this is bad. This is a bad idea. Let's try this one. Hold on. Yeah. Nope. That's not good. No. Ah! Okay. So no. No. Not that. How do we stop? Okay. So that didn't work. Let's just okay. Let's clear the whole thing and start over again. So we need a ramp. And we need a bridge. So, how simple can this be and still work? Let's try this. Okay, so that does not work. Okay, cool. So that is just not strong enough at all. So how little... Can I support it entirely from below with something like this? So she goes this way. All right. Yeah, so something like that will work. And that was only 1487. Okay, cool. So you can kind of... Okay, I really like the fact... So in past, like, bridge constructor type games, I feel like sometimes I would hit a point where it's just I just couldn't figure out the problem and I couldn't meet all the requirements. Here, rather than giving you limited resources and, like, forcing you to do it the hardest way, they let you use as many resources as you want, and you can sort of like brute force it if you need to, but you don't get a badge unless you keep it under a certain limit. But I like the fact that I could easily have just progressed and just said, yep, I'm gonna keep going and this is how I'm playing the game. But because my pride insisted that I had to try to do it and get the badge, I ended up playing it with more constraints. That's kind of neat. We weren't out of the woods yet. This warehouse was a maze, and every step threatened to be our last. All this noise is like a mating call for those bastards. They're swarming the halls. I told you 100 times, the warehouse is full of yummy stuff and not so yummy walkers. Let's move out. Smarty Pants, back me up here. Considering the increasingly volatile situation, I propose locating a route to a safe exit post-haste. A simple structure should allow me to traverse the gap and reach the ladders. Wait, this is about the same place as before, huh? I shall then utilize a hideous speaking doll to gather the enemy in one spot. This mockery of a human voice, modified by yours truly to be noisy as all get out, would wake the dead. It'll get their attention. The proverbial cherry on top shall be yet another death from above. Solution provided by yet another ISO intermodal container. Okay. Another chance to crush some walkers under a giant container. Unfortunately, they're not currently in a good position. Luckily, some characters have exclusive additional commands they can execute at waypoints. Eugene's special command is to throw a speaking doll. So you can see he's got one doll for the mission. So we got a special command. Okay, so he's going to start walking to the left. We'll make him a bridge. And at this waypoint, he'll throw a speaking doll. And he'll throw it right there. Okay, so he'll throw the doll, then he'll go up, and then when he gets to this waypoint, he will trigger the deal, and then he'll go... Wait a minute. That's not going to work. Because then if he goes down again, he'll just hit this waypoint and go back up again, won't he? I'm not sure. Oh, but if he goes up, that means he'll leave before he does his next action. So when he comes back down again... Oh, yeah, and look, okay, so these two, you can see that here, these two are joined because it means he'll do both of them at once. But once he hits up, he's going to stop interacting at that waypoint because going up leaves the waypoint. And the next time he comes to the waypoint, he'll do this one. Wow, they didn't explain that at all, but it actually kind of makes intuitive sense. Okay, cool. So now we just need to build our bridge. And I got to do it with under 1,200 materials. Let's see what our options are. Okay, that's 224. Oh, but it's got to be walkable. So now it's 670. So I'm not actually sure we can pull this off. Okay, that's barely under the wire. I don't know if that's going to be stable enough. Let's see what happens. Okay, nope. That was idiotic. Okay, let's try the other way. Let's try building it up here. Because basically, you need to build. What you're trying to do is build something that's got enough of sort of an intrinsic structure to it that it can't fold in half. So maybe that's gonna. What? No. Come here. So let's try this one. Okay, so that one works. Throws the doll. Triggers the crusher. Goes back down. There we go. Oh yeah, so because I'm a Twitch affiliate, I can't actually post this video today on YouTube. I need to wait till tomorrow, but this will be free for a week. So hopefully, if I remember to release this video tomorrow, then hopefully people who are watching the video can grab the game for free. I'm saying that in response to some messages in the chat. So apropos of nothing, but our escalating situation, why haven't you skipped town already? Miles ain't good with change in general. It took me long enough to get him out of the basement where he was hiding. Nothing good ever came of change. World was A-okay before this shit. You see the problem? Let's get a move on. We did it. We kept turning the walkers into pig feed. One good thing since Eugene came along. Wait, are they actually feeding them to pigs? That's horrible. But there was still no end to this complex. We were wondering if we'd ever see daylight again. Would you eat a pig that had eaten a zombie? I get it, Eugene. It's a proven plan. But I still don't like the way the container's tipping over. According to my elementary physics, your survival is near guaranteed if you maintain a minimum average speed of 5.5 miles an hour. Better make it 6. Safety trumping regret when it comes to preferred outcomes. You're a fun guy, Miles. But if I don't make it, shove him bullet first into the next gang of walkers. Okay, this is a movable container with construction points on it. You can build a weighted attachment to set it in motion. Wooden planks are 3 times heavier than wooden struts. Play around with different pieces and find the perfect timing to topple the container. Okay, so first, let's build the bridge that's going to get her across. I'm being weird. I don't know if this is a good way to build a bridge or not. Probably not. Actually, let's pull that down a little bit. That's probably terrible. So... this is too much materials. Let's just try this and see what happens. Okay, so that almost worked. Okay, so we can pull this out just a little bit to make it fall faster. But we have made too expensive a bridge. So let's try again. Still a little much. I wonder if it can handle being that slim. Actually, I think I have just fundamentally too many pieces. Let's try this one to see if it works. Oh gosh! No! Too fast. Okay. Okay, so I think maybe... Let's try that. That's a strut. So this bridge works. And now I've got a strut. Oh. And now it's not going to fall at all. Okay. So I needed the weight. I needed this weight. But... Okay, let's try this. I've used almost exactly the right amount of materials. Yes! Wow! Perfect. That was a little too close for comfort, Eugene, but I guess I'll think about letting you live. Enough bickering, children, this way. Great. What have you found now? Another haul of walkers, complete with containers ready to tip over and pulverize us? Even better, an exit. Mission completed. We're headed to an exit. It was good to breathe fresh air again, but that was about the only positive development. Walking was risky and wore us out something fierce, but without a car, it was our only option. I see a van down that hill. Reckon it'd make a good ride. What are we going to do about those walkers, though? Can we please for once come up with a plan that won't mangle us to bits if we make a tiny mistake? Euripides said the best and safest thing is to keep balance in your life. We shall construct accordingly. I think that's Eugene for let's get a move on. Okay, you've got a new material to work with. Cable! It's good for lightweight connections over longer distances. Careful, though, it can't support joints from the bottom. Okay, so what does that mean? There's no construction point on the right-hand side of the gap to fully attach your bridge. Try ending the bridge somewhere near the ledge on the right-hand side. Heroes can climb or hop over little gaps. Okay, so we're going to need to have a bridge that does roughly something like this. Even it out a little bit. So, I think what they're saying is that I could hold this bridge up with cables, except that's going to pull down this big heavy thing. Unless... Okay, let's watch what happens if we just do this. Oh, wait. Well, obviously. Sorry. So they're going to start running, the whole thing just collapses. So, what we probably need to do is build something over here. Something heavy. What does that look like? It collapses. Okay. 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 They can't quite make it. No. No. Okay, it's fine. I used too many materials anyway. So stop it. Okay. Okay. So not quite that. So I can use slightly less materials. So, okay, is there a way for me to use less materials, but make this thing fall a little slower? Like, oops. Like, what if the heavy bit was over here? That would probably give it a little bit more torque, pull it harder in this direction, while using less materials. Let's see if that works. But I gave it a smaller amount. Okay, because I shortened it, it's not going to be as heavy. So again, if I do this, that's a little bit over. I could probably try to strengthen this a little bit too, but that would use too much materials. Let's try this. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? Get up, get up, get up, get up! Yes! And it still pulls it on top of the zombies. This is a well-designed challenge. I am very impressed with this. Like, you do it just right, and everything works out perfectly. That was great. Funny how people just leave their keys in the car. Very convenient. Let's talk more ignition. Chop, chop. Here goes. Gas tank must be empty. Nothing we can do about that here. Maybe we should ask that dude on the motorcycle if he knows where to find some fuel. What dude? What motorcycle? I haven't seen anyone. Yeah, there's a big surprise. Let's move on. Hope we can find a gas somewhere. Mission completed. The three of us weren't going to last much longer on foot. Miles was grimly determined, pushing us forward. At least he acted like he knew where we were going. I hate to be the voice of reason here, but where exactly are we heading? What's the plan? Follow our destiny? Just hit the road and see where the wind takes us? No, there is a plan. Oh, great. Care to share? Anything to shut you up. There's a rest area off the interstate, just up this road a ways. Used to service all the buses taking folks up and down the coast. Maybe we could score some gas there. If you say so. Keep walking. I would conjecture this rest area continues to be popular among the bus enthusiast crowd. Is this... Wait, is that Norman Reedus up there? I think that's Norman Reedus. And the fact they have all expired does not seem to put a damper on said enthusiasm. If anything, it has intensified. Crap. On the bright side, there's probably lots of gas in those abandoned vehicles. There appears to be a man on the balcony of the motel. Common courtesy would dictate we include him in any plans to send these wayward travelers to their final rest. What are we waiting for? Alright, start mission. So yeah, so we've got Eugene here with his doll. Got Norman Reedus up here, his crossbow. Heroes can actually kill a few enemies with melee attacks, but this requires stamina. If their stamina fully depletes during a fight, they'll be overwhelmed by the enemy. Heroes can't fight while they're climbing, stumbling, or lying on the floor. Moreover, heroes will only kill enemies when meeting them head-on. They're vulnerable to enemies approaching them from behind. That stranger looks tough. He shouldn't have a problem eliminating the few walkers ahead of him. The large group on the floor needs a different approach. Okay. This is going to be complicated. So, first off... Okay, what's this? So we've got a dumpster here. Okay, so we need to get both guys to point A. Okay, so step one is obviously get Norman Reedus down there. So we get him. Do we want him to fight all of these zombies? Then climb down and fight all of these zombies? And then... Can I just build something to just land on these guys? Can I just be like... So Eugene could throw a distraction on these zombies. But... Is there some way I can, like... Like, what happens if I attach a cable from here to here? Are cables, like, elastic? Will it pull the zombies or anything? I'm just gonna try that. That's... No, I don't want cables. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Oh! Right, he doesn't have a command. Hold on. Let's try this again. Okay, so when he gets here... Okay, so when... he gets here... let's go left. And then down. And then right. And then right. Oh, yeah, of course, I need to build another bridge, don't I? So, need to get him down to the ground somehow. Can't build across there, though. Let's just hope he can jump down. And then, yeah, Eugene? What is Eugene supposed to do? I mean, when he comes here... I guess, what happens if I try to throw a doll? Like, I can get one over that direction, maybe. Oh, maybe if the zombies push the dumpster, they'll pull the sign down on top of them? Let's try that. See what happens. Okay, so he throws the doll, and it bounces. And that's just not useful. Oh, what happened with... Wait, I wasn't even watching what happened with Norman Reedus. Okay, so he runs down here. Oh, and he slides down, and he gets attacked by the zombies. Okay. So he needs to not be sliding when he gets to that point. Let's try this. So he can kill the zombies. Let's make sure he can get through all these zombies. Are we tracking his stamina somewhere? Okay, so he comes over here. Falls on his face. And then... What? How does this work? I'm missing something important here. There is something about this that I am just not seeing. Okay, so I can't throw the doll. So Eugene can't throw the doll past this point. Norman Reedus can't get past this thing. Daryl, that's his name. I can't think of the character's name. Daryl can't get past this thing. So, what can we do? Gior says yellow dot where he falls on his face. I'm not sure what you're suggesting. Just trying to save myself a little bit of materials here. Probably making this too fragile now. So, because we can attach the dumpster to something, but why? Why would we? So, do we need to just, like... bridge him over these zombies? Is that the plan? So we can like hang cable to support this, maybe? And then, I mean, this is way too expensive. This is kind of ridiculous, actually. There's no way this is the intended solution. But let's see what happens. That's what happens. Okay, let's make this a little bit stronger. There's no amount of strength that will... Okay, I'm just gonna seriously just be ridiculous right now. Just waste all tons of resources. Because I can't think of what else to do. Yeah, so it feels like these two objects should be movable in some way. Yeah, so he's at a dead end here. So there's got to be something that he can do to move these things around. What am I missing? I feel like there's some element of this they haven't told me about. Okay, let's clear this all out. Let's just rethink this. So I've got to somehow get this obstacle out of the way and get this obstacle out of the way. Oh! Oh, that's an idea. Okay, thank you. Mr. X Jonathan just suggested that I throw the doll. I didn't realize the arc could be that big. That I throw the doll over the sign. So let's just try this. Obviously, most of this is going to be bad. Okay, so they can push. Okay. So my intuition about this was right. The original intuition I had, which is I need to throw the doll over here, was correct. The thing I didn't realize was, of course, okay, when I saw the doll bounce off the sign, I was like, oh man, the sign's here to block the doll, so I can't do that, and I dismissed it. I wasn't thinking that Eugene could throw the doll so high that he could get it over the sign. So, okay, so that's what I was missing, was I didn't realize that the sign wasn't there just to block it. The sign was there to be thrown over. Okay, so I will still connect these. I think that the zombies will push the dumpster, pull the sign down on themselves. That'll be great. And so now, so the question is, when they push this, will they push it far enough that Daryl can land on it? Or yeah. Like, will Daryl need more than this? I'm not sure. Okay, so we throw that. Oh, but now the doll lands. Okay. Well. Okay, so that crushes all the zombies. But... oh, wait. I didn't mean to have that connected. Hold on. Let's just see what happens. I accidentally left that connection there. Now, we're still going to see the doll be useless, but I just want to see how far they push this thing when they're not being resisted by that cable. Okay, so it still crushes them. Well, of course, it still bumped into him. But, yeah, so I think he probably will need some kind of bridge reaching out here to get him on top of the diner sign. But then also, how in the world... okay. So it seems like we need to have a gap in the bridge that Daryl jumps across. Okay, so yeah, so this is a good position for the doll. We just need to... how big of a gap can Daryl jump? Like, what happens if we just leave that open like that? Can he do that? Nope. But the doll does get through. Okay, so we can't jump that big of a gap, but... okay, so I think what we might need is a four segment bridge, where one of the segments is very narrow. So let's see. No, that's not what I meant to hit. I meant to hit this button. Okay. All right. So that segment is very narrow, and allegedly the doll can pass through it. So what happens if we raise that a little bit, lower that a little bit? Probably intercepting the doll now. Technically not, but makes me nervous. Anyway, let's see. This is probably going to waste resources. Let's just see if it even works in theory. So he can almost make it across that. The doll passes through. Okay, so he almost made it. So, can the doll make it through that? Probably not. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it did. So now the zombies are chasing the doll. They get crushed. But now Daryl shows up here. And he can't get through. Okay. So now we need to have a bridge that Daryl can get across that won't block the doll. So let's try something like this. It's too much materials, but... and also too much weight. Okay. I don't know what to do. Okay. I mean, I can just use more materials, make this bridge stronger. Okay, so that one spot is really being taxed. What happens if I do that? Doll makes it through. And now can Daryl make the jump? Okay, okay. Success, except too expensive. Okay, so Balder wants to know, is it possible to throw the doll into this? I don't know. I wonder if... yeah, so I've been trying to get this gap. I hadn't even considered trying to nail that. Oh, you're right, Balder. That is probably exactly what we need to do, and that frees us up from having to do this complicated bridge nonsense here. Balder, you're brilliant. Okay, so let's try this again. Much simpler. Again, only 3 segments. Let's try to make this bridge as straight as possible. Make sure again that he's not sliding down the bridge when he gets to the bottom. So this is probably not strong enough, but we'll just edge up the strength as we go. I wonder if that will be enough. That's still too many materials. Wow. Well, let's just try this out in theory. Okay, yes, it lands on top of the dumpster. They crush themselves. That zombie goes after it. Kills the zombie. And it's too steep. Okay, too steep. I think we can work on that. So this bridge barely supported his weight. We're 100 over. So we need to do something fundamentally different. Okay, what if what we built was... a lattice like this? Would that work? Okay, yeah, so instead of building the support network above the bridge, which is kind of what I had to do in a lot of cases, I build it below the bridge, which gives it the same kind of strength, but supports 2 bridge surfaces. Awesome! We have done it. Thank you, Baldur. You made that possible. Because once I was no longer trying to put a gap in the bridge, this whole thing went way, way better. And now my mission is complete. It's Daryl! Thanks for the help. Thought I was a goner. Name's Daryl. I'm Miles from the town just up down the road. So it's a pretty one, Kira. Kira? How am I pronouncing this person's name? I don't even know. Other gentleman is... I know Eugene. He's with me. We got separated a ways back. Guessing he's the one who cooked up that crazy-ass rescue. Glad to help you boys reunite, but now we gotta get out of here. Reckon we could get one of those vehicles over there running? Where are y'all headed? Open road, town spent. Hoping to find somewhere better. You want to come along? We gotta get back to our people. We can go in the same direction for a while, at least until I find another ride. I do believe this motley crew of individuals is embarking on a journey that will forge a long-lasting and meaningful relationship that will never show up in the TV series. Vroom! Off we go. All right, so that is all of Chapter 1, and I think that's all we're going to do today. But this was a really good idea. Like, if you've got the first bridge constructor game I think was straightforward, just building bridges, getting cars across it. Then I think they did Bridge Constructor Portal, which is pretty clever because you had to just do all kinds of weird new geometry in order to to handle just adding portals to a bridge constructor just changes everything, right? But then The Walking Dead. Yeah, it provides a lot of really interesting new problems, like needing to destroy one user of the bridge while needing to rescue another. Having these characters that can sort of do different things at different waypoints. Like, it adds a level of interesting complexity to the problem I think this was just a really good idea. So I'm glad they made this game. That's really cool. Anyway, so if you would like to subscribe to my channel and see other weird games like this, I'm going to stick a subscribe button right there. I'll stick links to other videos that I've made over here. So go ahead and do that if you're watching later on YouTube. If you're watching me live right now on Twitch, I think maybe we'll just go play a little bit of Subnautica before I go.